Steph Curry. Listen, you've been in 5 straight finals. Where's the finals MVP? Because in the first one, they wanted to give it to LeBron. They should have used the best player in the series, but his team lost, even though he didn't have Kyrie or Kevin Love. Matthew Dellavedova was the second best player, so his team lost. But he was by so far the best player in the series. They didn't give it to him. Jerry West is the only guy to ever win it on the losing team. LeBron should have been the next guy. They didn't give it to him, so they gave it to the guy who guarded him. You know why? They couldn't give it to Steph. They wanted to. They couldn't. Next year, they lost, right? And LeBron got MVP. If they would have won, Draymond would have gotten it. Next 2 years, KD got it. Now, what do MVPs do? And I'm putting this on Steph, not because he's not great, but because he is. What MVPs do is when you're down 2-1 at home and you're facing a pivotal game 4, because let's face it, you lose this game, you're probably going to lose the series. You win, anybody's series. What MVPs do, what the all-time greats do, is ball out tonight. Not just, listen, he was great in Game 3.
47.
47.
Never had
That's
in the finals.
You know what? That's the first time I've seen in a finals game, not when he could put his chest out because he's got KD and Clay and squat up and no one can mess with him. Then everyone gets brave, right? But what about when the chips are down? What about when you don't have all those guys? What do you do then? I saw him do it for the first time in Game 3. Now let me see you do it in a win. You're getting Clay back. You must win the game, Steph. This is your team. This is your era, right? This is the Warriors' era. The pressure is on Steph.
Well, the soliloquy that you just went on is just epitomizes why you're so wrong about this. Because the fact of the matter is that Steph Curry balled out, dropped 47, and they still couldn't win. Why? Why? Because their defense was horrific. Not only did Toronto shoot 52% from the field, not only did they shoot nearly 45% from three-point range, every single person who had taken a shot for the Toronto Raptors shot better than 50% from the field. I don't give a damn who you are. You ain't winning when nobody around you plays defense. You're not winning when nobody else shows up. I recall last year we sat here after Game 1, and that's why J.R. Smith will be infamous, because LeBron James dropped 51. Put it on you. Put it on the Warriors. But they lost after somebody. I mean, you could call it who shot J.R. something. You know, back from the days of Dallas. I mean, somebody, he forgot that the score, what the score was, etc., and it cost him. What I'm saying to you is that it's not just about, of course, Steph Curry has the ball. I anticipate he will ball, but it's not just about him. For me, I look at a guy like Boogie Cousins. Let me tell you why. Here's where I go with Boogie Cousins. You have to find a way, because even if Klay Thompson plays, he's going to be hobbled. So on the defensive perimeter, you're going to still be compromised. So what's the other way that you can attack? You got to slow the game down in this regard. If I'm able to give it to somebody in the post, if they're able to draw fouls, if they're able to go to the free throw line, if they're able to disrupt Toronto's tempo somehow using your offense, because you can't rely on your defense because guys are not healthy enough to defend for you on the perimeter the way they once did. So now you do it not just by Steph scoring, Max, because he definitely has to do his thing, but it's by getting help on the offensive side of the ball in terms of controlling tempo, just to assist in either keeping the ball out of Toronto's hands or disrupting their rhythm by not allowing them to run up and down the floor. And to me, that's
I didn't know this was the Boogie Cousins Warriors. I thought it was the Steph Curry Warriors, but maybe it's the Boogie Cousins Warriors sitting on national TV talking about the pressures on Boogie. Missed a whole season with an injury. Steph the MVP. Come on.
We heard what you said. I don't believe you. Let's hear him.
Well, I think Steph did a whole lot last night. The night before last, and it proves that, you can't do it by yourself. You need a team to complete the deal, and he was hobbled with having a few team members, not there. Then at the same time, it's like Stephen was saying, there wasn't no defense. You got to play defense. It's offense and defense. That's what I love about Kawhi, that he played both sides of the ball.
Exactly.
But you got to have a team effort. Like, everybody got to get that effort up, and you can't wait to Game 4. They should have put a little bit more effort into it, and I think they're going to come through tonight.
So who's the pressure on, though? If you had to pick one player, you say the pressure's on this dude.
Pressure? I think the pressure is on the whole team. They all got to do it. It ain't no one-man show. It's a whole team.
And not only that, I'm assuming, forgive me, but I am assuming Steph is going to show up. Now, it may not be 47 points, but I have no doubt in my mind, and I guess I'm just taking for granted what I think he's going to do. It might not be 47. It might be 37. But what I'm saying to you is he cannot do it by himself if you don't play defense or you don't disrupt what Toronto's doing. The fact is, Toronto, the 2 of the 3 games, they have shot lights out. They've scored more than 118, at least 118 in 2 other 3 games. You've got to find a way to neutralize them offensively, or it don't matter if Steph scores 60, they're going to still lose.
But Snoop can get away with that. But you and me got to answer the question, who is under the most pressure in Game 4?
That's right.
The most pressure. Now, history's not going to care about these little details. They want to know who won in the end. When he got Clay back, forget about KD. If they have KD, it's a wrap. You're not going to beat him. So without KD, now it's now his time to show what can he do. Can he be an MVP when they need him most? You got Clay back. You got Draymond. You got Iguodala. You got Boogie. You have your whole crew basically except KD. We just saw you ball out of control, 47 points he couldn't miss.
Right.
Now let me see you do it in a win.
But here's my
when
problem.
you have your back to the wall, lead them to a win.
But here's my problem. You're constantly trying to make history before it arrives, and the fact is you're talking about history, but it's your story as in his story. I think differently than that. My mentality is this. I'm looking at Steph, and I'm assuming what Steph is going to do. But I'm thinking about, Steph could go out there and ball out, and because they can't stop Toronto, he could end up losing this game. If Steph drops 60, I'm not going to sit up here and go like this. Well, Max says, and other people who think like Max feel, that Steph Curry didn't get it done. I don't recall us talking about how LeBron didn't get it done last year. We said that the Cleveland Cavaliers let him down. I don't recall you saying LeBron didn't get it done when they lost first go-round, because you point out how Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving were hurt the very first time they lost to the Golden State Warriors in the finals. I don't recall you talking about how LeBron didn't get done when you said Kevin Durant arrived at Golden State and they stacked the deck. So guess what? He lost, but he got it. But it wasn't his fault, and we know that. And the Warriors might win, the Warriors might lose, but it may not be Steph's fault.